All right, so a lot of people are looking for a shortcut to the problem. I don't recommend it. So what I'm going to recommend to do is just kind of write down what I asked you to do, which is, this is a rational inequality, have it compared to 0. So I have to do that first. So x plus 2 over x plus 3, I'm going to subtract x minus 1 over x minus 2 from both sides. I get this. What's my next step going to be? Well, I need to get a common denominator. So x plus 3, x minus 2. The problem now is just getting that numerator. And I'll put this down. So it's going to be x plus 2 times x minus 2 minus x minus 1 times x plus 3. All right? Now, granted, I got to be really careful with this. So I have to, the bottom's already done, by the way. It's the top that is causing me so much trouble. And, looking at it, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. For example, this over here just produces x squared minus 4. Minus. And this guy over here, it really isn't so bad. What's it going to be? And let's be, I say it isn't bad. Let's still be careful with it. It's going to give me x squared. And then you're going to get, 3x minus x plus 2x. And then you're going to get minus 1 plus 3. Well, minus 1 plus 3 is going to be, minus 1 times 3 is going to be minus 3. All right, I got some troubles over here, and I'm going to write them down for you. The bottom is x plus 3, x minus 2. And the top, the x squareds disappear because x squared minus x squared is nothing. But then I get, minus 2x. I'll write that down for you. And minus 4 minus a minus 3 is going to be minus 1. All right? So as it stands, I'm ready to go. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for the zeros of the numerator and of the denominator. So let me write the easy ones down first. So minus 3. That's where this factor becomes 0. It changes sign there. I'm going to say 2. That's when this factor becomes 0. Then my question is, when does this factor become 0? When x equals minus 1/2. Now, by the way, I'm not saying this is drawn to scale. It doesn't really have to be. I'm just going to say minus 1/2 is certainly between those two numbers. What am I going to do now? I am going to test it out. And how do I test it out? Pick test points. For example, what number comes after 2 that's easy? I'd say 3. Plug it in. Where do you plug it in? Over here. If you plug in 3, you're going to get a negative number on top. On the bottom, you get a positive number times a positive number. What do you get overall? Negative. All right? Let's keep moving. I'm going to take a test point in between minus 1/2 and 2, and I'm going to say 0 is a good choice. What would you get on top if you did that? All right, let me put an arrow over here. You would get negative number on top if you plug in 0. You get a positive times a negative. Overall, you'd get positive. We're just doing simple sign analysis. What's a good number between minus 3 and minus 1/2? I'm going to say minus 1. What do you get there? Well, on top, you'd get 2 minus 1, which is a positive number. On bottom, well, minus 1 plus 3 is positive. Minus 1 minus 2 is negative. So overall, I get a negative number. All right, that's not so bad. What's a number, that's below minus 3 that's easy to choose? I'd say minus 4. What do you get on top? You get a positive number. What do you get on bottom? You get a negative number times a negative number. So overall, it's positive. Now I got to be clear what the question is. The question is, when is it less than or equal to 0? Let's do one at a time. When is it less than 0? When it's negative. Certainly here. And certainly over here. That's when it's less than 0. Is it ever equal to 0? It is. When? At minus 1/2. Because the top becomes 0. But minus 3 is not going to produce a 0. It produces a division by 0. And 2 does not produce a 0. It produces a division by 0. So what's the intervals? Well, again, I'm looking at the graph now. I'm going to say minus 3. It's on the left side. I'm not touching it. Up to minus 1/2. That's on the right side, and I'm touching it. We have conventions. Union, we're at 2 now. 2's on the left side of the interval. We're not touching it, and it's going off to infinity, and you can't touch infinity. Let's see the answer key. We just did the work. What's the answer key say? And again, we're hoping to match a key at this point. I'm seeing that. Yeah, I'm good to go to the next question. Thank you.